morning, YouTube. So we're starting our day at Franklin Street, and in true Franklin Street fashion, there's something missing. The other end of my wires. So this weekend we had a pretty gnarly windstorm, and the neighbor calls me up on Sunday and says, "Hey, the wires got ripped out of your house." And at first I was, a little shocked and not really ready for that sort of news. And then I said, "Well, what happened?" He said, "Well, the tree came down my parents' place, and it took out the corner of their roof, it took out their deck, it took out their car, and yanked the wires out of your house." I said, "Well, that's fine. I mean, we worked without power before. Are your parents okay?" And they said, "Yeah, they're fine. They're on the phone with me when it happened, and everyone's okay." So, well, that's good. But let's show you what happened to their place. So, there's the corner of the roof that got yanked. There's the deck that got smashed, and there's their car. And they got super lucky. This is a big red pine, and when these things fall, man, they've got a lot of momentum and a lot of weight. Man, they can cause some damage. I am so grateful that they were not on that deck when that happened. And no one was here at the job site, so I knew everyone was okay here, but I was really pleased to hear that they were fine. But anyway, something that they are going to have to be concerned about is, if you can see this red pine behind us, you see how the bark is kind of orangey color and flaking off and missing? Well, that happens when that vine down below wraps around and starts choking it. And that tree's gonna fall on its own, and we can see it. That's a risk of taking out either one of these houses. And I really hope that the landlord at that property steps up and takes care of that. It's not our call, it's not on my property. I'll do my best to talk to the homeowner, but we'll see. Anyway, let's get back to the Franklin project, shall we? So, first line of business this morning is establishing power. The project house next door, the owner over there, I texted to him, see if he can let us use some power. If not, we're going to do everything old school. Hand banging and, well, I guess old school and new school. Hand banging nails and battery power. Except our battery nailer just died. So, there's that. Anyway, let's show you what we did last week.
Yep.
All right, guys. So this wall here is what we've been working on, as you already know. We've got 5 windows in. We've got them all trimmed out. We have the 2 doorways trimmed out. We have a couple of end points for the siding to hit as it steps up over these rocks. Let me show you the detail on top of that. So whenever you have a flat horizontal plane, you've got to be concerned about flashing. So I build little flashing caps to go over the top of anything that's an end wall block or the trim around a window or door. It all gets the same treatment. So this is how you do it. You just take your flashing metal, you bend it to your appropriate size, you wrap it over the edges, you nail it to the face, and then you tape over the nailing pin, and then this is already waterproofed and it's good to go. It should last a lot longer. So, stop there. Alright, so this block here, it may look a little odd that it's just out here in the middle of nowhere. What I'm doing is putting a water spigot here, and it's going to go into a 2x6 wall that we're going to have insulation on the inside of it, and then have the plumbing to the inside of the spray foam. That way, the piping all stays warm, and it will be the frost-free style, so the valve itself is actually technically on the inside of the building. And then put a hose hanger up here, so you can wrap your garden hose on it, and then have your hose bib down here, and we'll just terminate the siding to it. Same gig. The flashing detail. Thursday, late afternoon, we started framing out the little roof for the entranceway, and that's in These 2x4s here are just there to hold it up for now until we get the proper rough cut material in there. We have another standoff for power, which we're currently feeding power to the tool trailers. We have lights in there. We have the standoffs for the light fixtures, the wall sconces that'll be here. And yeah, that's all there is to this. We did a timber frame, or not timber frame, but the timber locked into the stud work to the inside. That detail there is a bit more difficult on a balloon framed building. If you want more detail on that, throw a comment below and I'll answer your questions. So let's head to the inside. I'll show you what the inside looks like. Not much change, but you have windows. So in here, obviously, we have the windows that are installed. When we install our windows, we try to do our best to create gaps on the sides, top and bottom, so it's all even. When you do that, you give yourself a gap to use a little spray foam can to fill in that air gap there. Because windows are notoriously the biggest leak spots in any house. So you want to make sure you create a zone for spray foam to go in there. If it's too tight and you just spray foam the surface, you won't get an actual air barrier seal and it will leak. So we do our best to try to create that. You do have to be a little careful. You can't have too much of a gap, otherwise your nailing fins won't work. So be aware of that. Something else I didn't point out in the last video is we do mid-span blocking in our walls, right around the 4-foot mark. What that does is it allows you to have less opportunity for cracking in your sheetrock. So the stiffer the wall gets, the stiffer the sheetrock remains and the less cracks that you get. And you typically will have a seam right around 4 feet or 8 feet, depending on how you lay your sheetrock. This will help eliminate that little bit of wall flex. So I wanted to end the video here. This is going to be the master suite. So we have a picture window here, we have a double hung here, another double, another picture, another double. And we're doing that because this corner of the property has the best view. And I'm really trying to create an oasis feeling in the master bedroom. And this is the starting point of that feeling. If you look through here, look through our staging, and you can see the mountains in the background. You've got the lake right below. It's just a great spot, and we really want to take advantage of that. And something else that's kind of come up, as you can hear in the background, there's someone nailing. Well, what does that mean? Nick's holding the camera. I'm talking to you. We hired a third person. Super grateful for the opportunity to have him. He's been here with us for a day and a half. So we'll see how it works out. But we're glad to welcome him on board. We definitely need the help. So yeah, there's that. I don't think we have any other news on anything else. The retaining wall is still the retaining wall. Nothing's changed there. And we're just going to keep plugging forward. I did negotiate with a spray foamer to come in and spray foam sections as they have time allowed, which means they will, if they end a job early or if they have a gap in their schedule, they have a couple days available. He's a local sprayer, so he can come in, set up, spray out 1 or 2 walls, and then mobilize back out. So we're not going to do this project in one shot, which means we have to organize our work appropriately to make sure that the wiring is done, the plumbing is done, the blocking is done, and everything's set, because you do not want to have to dig through all that spray foam. It's a waste of money. It's not great for the environment, and it's a time consumer. We don't need anything else consuming our time. But it will be good to phase it through. I think that's about it. So if you like what you see, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, please throw that at the bottom. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. We are a growing channel, and we hope to really grow this thing. The future of High Peaks Home in this realm, I believe, could be really impactful in our community. And if we can start taking these dilapidated properties and really turning them around, we can make a huge difference in this community. So thanks for everything. We'll see you next time.